Put the C in the ouch and the ing in the couch, and we got couching with Coel. Since morning, there is an electricity running through this room. The atmosphere is highly charged. Everyone here knows this is an opportunity of a lifetime. No one is going to move a muscle because they don't want the dream to end. How often do you get to be in this intimate presence with greatness? This is the King of Kings, the superstar of the millennium, who is redefining the rules of the ageist industry and defying the gods of his own battered body by sheer willpower. Please put your hands together for Mr. Amitabh Bachchan.
Don't believe a word of what she just said.
Tell us the most vivid memory that you have. Now I'm going back to your Sherwood days. Sherwood was the school that he went to. So what is the most vivid memory of your days then?
When the name of this school was suggested to me, you know, I had visions about Robin Hood. Thank you. And that was Robin Hood, which had pierced an arrow on one of mine. So, you know, Sherwood and, you know, Sherwood Forest and Robin Hood and Little John and Alan a Dale and Friar Tuck, all the legendary characters of this great story. I had those visions, and then there was talk about mountains and, you know, valleys, and so I was looking forward to, you know, going to school with bows and arrows slung onto my back and you know, boots and stuff like that. But the idea of going to boarding was very new to me, and having reached there, I was introduced to a different kind of culture. I think those are the happiest days of my life. I look back at boarding school with great regard.
Your father was a professor in Allahabad University, and perhaps he would have liked you also to become a teacher and to study English, but you, of course, were hell-bent on becoming a scientist, and you chose Karorimal as your college. Now, of course, what you studied has very little to do with what you do right now.
Yeah, there were very few avenues. Either you went to the army, or joined the forces, or went for the, you know, the administrative services. These were the two major avenues that you went for. I was not qualified for either. So we were, you know, at a loose end, and we didn't know what to do. I tried for some colleges like, say, which were the more renowned ones, like St. Stephen's, and, you know, everybody was going there. So you being from Delhi, you will understand what I'm trying to say. But I didn't get admission there. They said, you know, why don't you take up arts, you know, science? I don't know whether you'll be able to handle this, that. But I said, no, sir. So I couldn't get admission anywhere else, and finally got admission in science in Kirorimal College, which was just coming up. And in the first chemistry lecture, which lasted 45 minutes, I realized that in 45 minutes, they've covered 10 years of my senior Cambridge. And I said, gosh, I've got 3 years more of this stuff to go. And I just, you know, decided or realized that I was not cut out for science. I did my BSc after mugging a lot of books just before the exams, 2 or 3 months before the exams. And if you ask me what is Ohm's law, I won't be able to tell you that. And I have no idea whatsoever about mathematics, chemistry, or physics right now.
So if suppose you did end up, and we didn't have the actor Mr. Bachchan, but we had the professor of botany Mr. Bachchan, then perhaps you would sound something like Chupke Chupke. And for the people who haven't seen the movie, he's going to give us a little glimpse of...
You know, I'm going to object this, Coel, because every time you put me on test in front of audiences...
But sir, do you know how much they love it, that it's backed by popular demand? It's got nothing to do with me.
So what? What do you want me to say? To say this, गोभी का फूल फूल होकर भी फूल नहीं सब्जी है. इस तरह गेंदे का फूल फूल होकर फूल नहीं है.
Now, you've only played a student a few times in your career, and most memorably in Kabhi Kabhi, in Sanjog, and in Pa, also a student. Now, all three of them had very little to do with studying, but more to do with romance.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it might be true for them. Was it true for your real life at the time when you were a student?
Yeah, come on. You know, we're all... You're young, you're in college, you're independent, and this is embarrassing. No, even in school, actually. Yeah, it started off in school, in Sherwood, yes. We had our sister school, which was called All Saints. You know, our main building was up here where all the classrooms and dormitories were, and then you sort of walk down to a playing field, which is a little lower on the hill. And then below that was the tennis court, and then below that were all the prospective, lovers who would break bounds from there, jump across the valley, climb the other hill, and go to the wall. It was called the wall because this All Saints School had a huge wall which protected the girls from
the Sherwoodians or
predators like us. So the wall was, the most significant thing in school. And have you been to the wall? And that kind of conversation used to happen. So we used to crawl up the wall, and the wall used to be the edge of their playing field. So you just show your face up, and perhaps one of the girls would come running by during games period, and we say, "Can you call that one, please?" And then the girl would very casually sort of walk across, and it was really beautiful because, I don't know what romance is like now, but at that time it was, "How are you doing?" And I made a little card for you, and will you come to the annual concert, when you come, and maybe you can put our program into this card that I've made for you. And that said, bye-bye, thank you, and we're back. That's all that, used to happen.
Really?
Yeah. And we had a vice principal that had a pair of binoculars, which were really powerful. And from Nainital, he could see Bareilly almost, that far. And we would get caught. Once you get caught on these things, then the options is 6 cuts of the cane, or you won't be allowed to go to the annual function where All Saints are going to come.
Oh no, oh no.
So we would obviously go for the 6 cuts.
Of course, macho, brave it, give us 12.
Yeah. But they were just wonderful days, I think that school days.
Cutting straight to this moment right now, how many of you think that the trailer of Shamitabh is the coolest thing you've seen?
Wow, thank you.
Would you like Mr. Bachchan to do a line from the trailer?
No, I don't have. These are stuff that I did when I did a drunk scene, and because I have just water here, it's going to be a little tough to do this.
We'll imagine.
Okay, thank you.
This is not picture, it is mixture. Maybe Shamitabh.
Thank you, that's it.
Now, this is strange that you say that this film is solely about your voice. To a large extent, it is your voice. And in spite of your baritone, you were rejected as the AIR newscaster.
Yeah, as I said,
Way
when
back.
you come out of college, you don't know what to do. Somebody said, go to some of these companies, look for a job. We went there. They asked me some general knowledge questions, which I didn't know. And if I were to be asked that question now, I would repeat it. Do you know what KANU is, K-A-N-U, and KADU, K-A-D-U?
Blank.
Kenyan African National Congress. And I never knew that. But after having been asked this question, it remained in my brain. And every interview that I went to, I said, KANU, Kenyan African National, and I said, in case they ask me this question.
Okay, I'll ask you, what is KNU? Just for the...
Okay, so somebody said, why don't you try for All India Radio, as an announcer or a newsreader. So I went there, and it was not accepted.
Do you remember, apart from this, what they made you do? Did you have an audition for it?
Or? We had an audition. You go to the studios on Parliament Street, All India Radio.
Could I give you an audition right now to do?
Yeah, sure. Provided you don't fail me.
Are we going to fail him? We don't know.
Hello to 104.8 OA FM. Excitement ki baat hai that we have in our studio, oh gosh, I'm going to talk about myself, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, promoting his new film, Shamitabh. And let me tell you something about him, that it's going to be made public for the first time.
Now you play Mr. Bachchan and tell us something
tell
about
you what, okay, when you play with sound, it's it became imperative for us to record the entire script before going on set. That itself was something new. So Balki and me sat in a studio, a dubbing studio, and I recorded the entire script beforehand. Then we went on set and we played the recording and we performed according to it. And then after the performance was over, we went back into the dubbing theatre to redub the entire film. Because your facial expressions when you are enacting don't necessarily match what you recorded earlier.
At this stage of your career, perhaps you're getting more diverse and interesting things to do than ever before.
Age has got to do with that.
Okay,
Yeah, I can't be playing romantic roles. So, you know, you play a retired judge, or you know, a decrepit old man, a drunk. What I'm saying is that either you contend with it, or you retire and say, look, I don't want to be in a situation where I have to continue working in whatever comes my way, or I can just retire and relax and just live on the accolades I received when I was younger. I just felt that, you know, I needed to continue working. And when I continue to work, I must realize the fact that, you know, the person who's younger and more popular is going to get more attention. So there will be, you know, a Shah Rukh, a Salman, an Amir, Hrithik, Ranbir, whoever, that are going to be, you know, if they were to walk in right now, everybody would run there. And no. Okay, maybe one or two would look at me. But this is a very natural phenomenon. It happens. You walk into a restaurant with, say, two other youngsters with me, and the attention is more for them. It's something very natural. And you have to contend with that. I think everyone that is in the profession will have to contend. I'm just merely stating an honest truth.
So in Shamitabh, you play a drunk, as you a frustrated drunk. Did you all know that Mr. Bachchan is a teetotaler and he hasn't touched alcohol since what, 30 years?
About 35 years.
35 years. So what is the key element of preparation or thought that goes into doing such a scene?
Some of it in your brain comes as a result of some observation that you may have made. Some of it comes from personal experiences. I wouldn't deny that, you know, when you talk about personal things, then you immediately relate to something that is within you. I may have cinematically lost my mother also about 6 or 7 times. And I used to worry that when I will lose my mother in real life, I don't know what emotion will come out then, because it's quite possible that I may have already expended that emotion already in some of my scenes. And I doubt very much if we will honestly know what was the emotion at that time, what was the emotion when your mother actually passed away. So these are some of the things you have to consider. So when you play a drunk, you try to gather something or some observation you may have made of people.
Of Balki sir?
No, not of and that's how you do it. The other thing is that I did a film called Sharabi, in which I was drunk throughout the film. And on the first day of the shoot, I had a 2-3 page dialogue to say, and you know, I performed it and we ended. And I realized that a drunk takes a lot of time to say a couple of sentences. You and me will quickly say it, but when he's drunk, it takes time, you know. So, and if you're going to have 3 pages of dialogues from me, then I'm going to take a lot of time to say that. So I told Prakash ji that, you know, I think we need to think about this, because then we are looking at making a 6-hour film. Many a times people refer to my drunk scene in Amar Akbar Anthony and in The Mirror, but those circumstances and those dialogues were different. The moment was different. The drunk scenes in Shamitabh are of perhaps a frustrated man who's fighting ego and fighting competition, maybe, you know. So that you'll know when you see the film. But these are some of the things that differ from one drunk scene to the other. And
so
that's how
if we had to do, like say for instance, the Shamitabh famous line, the whiskey line, which I have here so you don't have to recall it. If you had to do the Shamitabh whiskey line in another drunken person, like Anthony Gonzalez, or even Ravi Anand from Satte Pe Satta, you know, the drunk scene there.
Yeah.
Would it be different? We've all heard how Shamitabh does it. Would it be different, these lines? I've been 45 years in this industry. You're not taking my examination now.
I don't know if any of you have seen this trailer and have seen this dialogue.
We all.
Okay.
Scotch. My pani. Oh, mixing. है कोई पानी जो चलती है विस्की के बिना पानी नीड्स विस्की में जरूरत नहीं किसके
I'm so embarrassed. If, say, Anthony Bhai was to do this. ये है कोई पानी बुड़ू जो चढ़ती है विस्की के बिना नहीं मेरे को बोलो तुम बोलो मैं बताता है तेरे को मालूम पानी उसको अंग्रेजी नहीं आती ना पानी को चाहिए विस्की he needs the whiskey विस्की में जरूरत नहीं किसकी
So to end this show, I have a little surprise for you.
Oh, God.
And yes, please reveal the surprise. Because now we're going to do some...
It's WC for sure.
We have a surprise for you. Now we're going to do some piddly talks.
Okay.
What do you sing in the shower?
Piddly.
Shall we?
No. Because you need a shower. That's a jet.
Yeah, but you sang it in there. I mean, I've given you that option.
No. Look, it's not just done for sensation, you know, the song Piddly on the WC. It's part of the story. And when you see the film, you'll realize why I've been made to sit there and why I'm singing this song.
It's highly intriguing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Do you
but,
want to
you know,
hear the piddly song?
So, पिडली सी बातें क्यों करती हो शर्मा के पिडली सी बातें पिडली इरादे मैं सच करूं आते जाते पिडली इरादे पगला हूँ यार पगला है प्यार ऐसे नहीं चलता है ये कारोबार प्यार के साए में सब पिडली है यार पिडली सी बातें क्यों करती हो शर्मा पिडली सी बातें Thank you.
How much time do you spend on the piddly pooloo?
What? How can you ask something like this? You're on.
You put it on mainstream cinema.
No, this is
What can I
national
do?
television. You can't ask these questions.
Okay, before asking the next question, I've actually got written permission from Jayaji that you must answer it. Okay?
When did you meet her?
I met her. If you were a 30-year-old unmarried superstar in 2015, who out of these current actresses would you have wanted for your girlfriend, wife, or both?
Give me the list.
I don't have the list.
No, give me the list.
No, I don't have the list. You have to just tell me.
What's the question?
Who out of the current lot of actresses, if you were unmarried, young, if you were...
Okay.
Who would you woo?
You know, looking at modern trends where everyone is very liberated these days, I wouldn't choose to get married at all. Because then I would have the opportunity to be with all of them.
Have you ever been mistaken for another celebrity?
Yeah, many times. Don't ask me to narrate this because it'll be really embarrassing for the person who I will name and for myself as well.
What do you do then?
But I'll tell you the opposite.
Okay.
I'll tell you that, you know, for our action sequences, we have duplicates who go and do all the stunts for us. And I hate that because I feel that, you know, why is somebody going out there and getting hurt because of me? But I had a duplicate who, and they're supposed to look like you, have the same frame, but they are more proficient in doing all these action sequences. So I was shooting on a beach in Chennai, and it was an action sequence. And we went out on the beach, and all the crowd went to the duplicate.
So you were scot-free for once.
Yeah. So then I said, I walked up to him and said, "Can I have your autograph, please?" as well. So things like this keep happening. It's, many times people mistake you for who you
Mr.
are.
Bachchan, you have been fabulous today. Thank you, Mr. Bachchan.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you all very much.
Put the C in the ouch and the ing in the couch, and we got couching with Coel.